Hi, in this video I'm going to show you how you can make a Kumihimo bracelet. You're going to need a piece of cardboard, something circular, something you can trace that's round, pencil, marker, scissors. I'm using this thin cardboard. Thicker cardboard works pretty well too. Only thing is it's harder to cut. You're also going to need some yarn or string. I have a piece of scrap yarn. I have a couple of ribbons from a happy birthday sign, and I have a few strips of an old t-shirt that I have cut and pulled tight to make them a little bit better to work with. First thing you're going to need to do is to make the loom. So to do that, you need to make a circle out of the cardboard paper or cardboard sheet that you have. So I'm tracing this circular shape. And then just go ahead and cut that out. Okay, and then from here, you're going to be making a mark for the center. So just approximate it, try to get it as close to you as you can to the center. And then we're going to start making marks around the outside. You're going to start with 4 marks. So one at the top, straight down, one at the bottom. And then I'm turning it so that those are straight across. And then I'm doing top and bottom again. So one at the top, one at the bottom. Then from there, I'm just going to mark it like a compass, north, south, west, and east. It's just kind of to help keep your strings in the right place. From there, you're going to divide each of the quarter sections in half again. So halfway in between, you're going to make a mark, and then go back around and do the same thing halfway between the marks. So you should end up with 16 little marks all the way around. You're going to make a cut on each one of those marks. You want to cut it far enough that you can notch a piece of yarn through there. So it shouldn't be too shallow. You want to make it a little bit farther in, but obviously not too far in. You need to put a hole in the center. So I'm going to poke it with my pencil and push it through. I'm going to get my yarn and string together and line up the edges so they're all kind of touching at the edge. These should be about 2 feet long at least. I'm going to go ahead and make a knot here at the end. So wrapping it around my finger, making a loop. I'm going to push the ends up through the loop. It's not so easy with those thicker pieces, but if you need to, you can pull them out, like put the knot down farther down to make it. And I'm going to pull all those nice and tight. It ended up they weren't quite the same length, so I'm going to trim them so that they're about the same length. Now here comes the tricky part. You got to get the knot on the back, so you have to push the pieces of string through the hole from the back. I ended up having to kind of do a couple at a time, and then the last few I had to do one at a time to push them through the hole. You could probably push it through with like a pencil if you have that pencil, or maybe the end of the scissors to help get those pieces through. You just want to do it gently, so you don't want to like make the hole too big so that the knot doesn't come through. All right, so your loom is ready. You are going to start the actual weaving part. So you're going to put one piece of string or yarn on each one of the north, south, west, and east, and you're going to put a second one there. So you're actually going to have 2 pieces like right next to the north, south, east, and west. You should keep about 2 empty spaces in between the strings. So there should be some empty ones in between. So when you're done, you should be able to see those empty spaces in between, 2 empty spaces. all the way around. Okay, so from here, you're going to start the weaving part. You're going to start following the same pattern. So I'm doing the bottom left, up, and staying on the left. I'm doing the top right, down, and staying on the right. So you're always going to keep staying on the left or the right of that center line. I have to turn it a quarter knot or a quarter turn and just keep following that step. So left up, stay on the left, right down, stay on the right. So however you want to word it, just keep repeating it to yourself. So the way I say it is left up, right down, and I keep it the left on the left, the right on the right, and I keep turning it after you do one set of left up, right down. You have to turn it to the next pair. Left up, right down. So the way I do it is I just repeat that. Left up, right down, and then don't forget to turn it in between. To do the next one, turn it, a quarter turn, left up, right down. As you're doing this, you're going to need to make sure the strings are not getting tangled. So every once in a while, just check and make sure and pull through them and make sure, like kind of like you're combing your hair, just pull through and make sure they're not tangled. And you also need to pull it from the back because it's going to start bunching up at the top. So just pull it down after you do like a few times through, so because it'll start bunching up. You just keep doing that step. You can see there I'm untangling the strings. They do get tangled up. Left up and right down. You can see the pattern is starting to form there. So you just keep going. This took me probably like maybe an hour to do the whole thing. So it doesn't take too long. Also, if you know that you're going to need to stop in the middle, you might want to make some way of marking which one you did last so you don't forget what pattern you're on. Like maybe end it when you go down and then just put like something on that string so you know where you left off. So I'm speeding it up here. Just keep going, following the steps. It's going to take you a while to get to the end. Once you get there and you're running out of string and you know it's like long enough to fit around your wrist, then you're going to stop. You're going to unhook all of the strings, pull them through the hole. You need to make a knot here. So wrapping it around my finger, making a loop, and then pulling the strings up through the loop. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pull a couple of strings from the knot to make a loop that I can use to adjust this bracelet on my wrist. So I'll show you what that looks like in just a second here. So I want to make it tight, but I also want to keep, I'm going to pull 2 of those, just a couple, but don't pull them all the way, just like leave a loop. I'm going to put my finger through there so the loop stays. And then I'm just going to tighten the knot even more. I'm actually pulling on each one of the strings because there's so many strings that I'm tying, some of them are not getting pulled totally tight. I think it has to do with the fact that they're different types of string too. So it's making it harder. So pulling them really tight, and that might happen to you depending on what string you're using. So pulling it tight, each one, leaving the loop in there. So that little loop is going to help me attach this bracelet on me. So I trimmed the edges off of that side, trim the edges off the other end if there's any edges. And then that bigger knot on the one side can go through those loops. And then you have your bracelet that you can attach. You could attach that just like that, pull the loops through when it's on your wrist. I already did that, so I'm just going to slide it on. It fits okay. So perfect. And then if you want to take it off, you can undo the loop from that knot. Like take the knot through the loops, and then there you go. So it's finished, and hopefully it worked out for you. And I'd love to see what you did. If you do it, please share it with me. And thanks for watching. Bye.